What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here.
You know each other?
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday. I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
He started raving, screaming that a dimensional shambler had found him.
Oh, mercy, that story again. Why have him interned?
That was when he began to convulse and twist with pain. Or terror, it's hard to tell.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not really sure of what I saw, or what I didn't see. But it's best that you weren't there.
I should have been there. What you're telling me is outrageous. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long. The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He was... Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? The Shambler. I need to see it. Did she really care for him after all? Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings, that accursed Sarah.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say? Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
An old diary. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. A strange Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those. These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. The public entrance to the gallery. Why was he so interested in old weapons? The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery. Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it? These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. Why was he so interested in old weapons? What the hell was that? What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Down. This dagger looks different. What the hell was that? Damn. This dagger looks different. What the hell was that? Down. Maybe I can use this dagger. What the hell was that? Damn! Did it hear that? Maybe I can use this dagger. This dagger looks different. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Damn. Did it hear that? Oh, God. Ah! Ah! What the hell was that? This dagger looks different. What the hell was that? This dagger looks different.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
It's nothing. I think I just drank too much.
That goes without saying. If you can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, then you're in real trouble.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
Where's the bookseller? An old diary. What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge. What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? What's happening to Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Right? Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe. Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet? Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Arkham editions? Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham Editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Queen has little protection. The Chalice of Knowledge.
This man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told, after inhaling chemicals.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down, his skin losing its color, his body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. but that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
I've seen suction cups on his fingers, his falling body temperature, his dehydration. Had I only read the report, you know what I would have concluded, Doctor.
Do I? Tell me anyway. I'm curious.
He's no longer human. These are the attributes of an animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects. Chronic insomnia. Like half the island.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. and the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
Hay fever? What's he doing here?
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
The whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back?
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks. She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney. What is the boiler room key doing here? The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. Intoxication from breathing organic vapors. Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Those basement brutes tied him up too tight, and now he's hurt.
I keep trying to heal his wounds, but he reopens them.
Do you have a diploma as a nurse?
Excuse me?
So take care of this man. Why did nobody tell me about her admission? Mrs. Sanders?
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but...
Dr. Colden.
Ethan.
Marie,
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
Tell me your symptoms.
I have headaches. And I can't sleep.
Do you suffer from insomnia?
No. Look, I don't want you to laugh at me.
Ethan, if you don't trust me, then who?
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
With everything that happened to you these last days, it's no wonder you're feeling stressed.
Maybe.
Everyone on Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh. There's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
There's no way I'm leaving until I find what Fuller is hiding.
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory. Please, the fewer interruptions...
Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him. In theory, this is where we hang the key to the boiler room.
Dr. Colden, we need you at once in dormitory.
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be having trouble with his IV.
I've done an exam. Deborah is looking after him.
And the family of Mrs. Harding is asking to see her medical file.
I'll never understand why it's so hard to see patients' files around here.
Rules are rules. See, with Dr. Fuller, he's in charge. Anyhow, they're still waiting, and I don't think they'll leave until they get what they want.
Understood. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. A man has been brought up from the basement.
I saw him, yes. It's always the same thing. They bring them up, without any explanation, with a multitude of self-inflicted injuries. We take care of the wounds, and then they leave. Each time, I feel like I'm sending them back to hell.
Their affliction is not our responsibility. You cannot save everybody, Doctor.
This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him? The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. The operating room is never accessible after an operation. Let's hope I can go through the administration office.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan?
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while.
And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show.
We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, and Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment. The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high. We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks.
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food. The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
Everybody says it. She's a witch. What a pest. It's so unfair.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not owned. Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless. Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes, but rest assured.
That won't be necessary.
I will tell him.
Let's hope I can go through the administration office. The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
Don't go falling over. That would be stupid.
Dr. Colden?
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but...
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
The door to the boiler room is locked. Where did I see that key? Ah, yes. The office in Block B. The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait. I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool. I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion. It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
Dr. Colden,
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go. And hold your tongue this time. Mrs. Donovan?
I'm busy. Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. But it's about
At last. The missing files must be hidden here. The Stendhal syndrome. Of course. This is where Fuller found his diagnosis for Francis Sanders. Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something. Patient files. I was right.
Conclusions, session number 17. Patient, Sarah Hawkins. The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusory nature of what she calls the mythos. It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the price that comes with her exceptional gifts.
Why is Ethan on medication? Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
At first, I presumed that her blood was the key. But I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
This finger belonged to a woman. Why keep it here? The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
Then James came, irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection. I must go back to the basement.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief! Oh, I swear I'll shoot!
Lower the gun, or you'll be sorry.
I am the one with the weapon!
For now.
All right. I just need to protect myself.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you. Now you won't be able to escape his will. What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait. No one knows the occult better than me. You might need my help.
All right. All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Let's meet later at the Hawkins mansion. Now go! Rescue the doctor!
Thank you, Drake. I pray that Colden is really here. And alive. Old diary. Right. Enough time wasted. Colden needs me. I must find her. The Scylla is here. Like in the vision. Colden came this way. My God, what is happening to me? What was that? It's as if I'd been transported somewhere else. What happened? Something has changed, but what?
destiny. It has trapped you.
You are confronting powers that surpass you.
It looks like things are back to normal. What's going on? It never ends. Damnation. That's me.
Oh, God! I gotta get out. I got...
Pierce, I found her. I finally know what's going on. You must live and find the truth. It is already too late for me.
Colden? What's going on? Was it a hallucination?
Please take a seat and be quiet, Mr. Pierce. I'll be with you in a moment.
Stop whatever the hell you're doing and turn around now. No, it can't be.
No! You son of a bitch! What did you do to her?
I wish I could have done more experiments on you, Mr. Pierce.
I said, what did you do to her?
You shouldn't be sorry for your friend. You should envy her.
Murderer! This madness must stop!
Colden? they do to you? Can you speak? Sarah.
He gave him the gold and I the azure. I don't see him very often anymore. The green is stronger.
Are you feeling ill?
I'm here, but no.
Let's get you out of here.
It comes in my dreams. Our minds melt like colors on a palette.
Come with me.
It's of the oldest green. A violent living, vibrant. A sea green, maybe. No.
Mrs. Hawkins, we must go before someone finds out.
Oh, but he will. He always knows these things when it's about me.
I have seen the same color. It was not as vivid as you said.
A pale copy. A discarded spawn.
Do you know what it was? Tell me.
I can't. We should not call his name. Terrible, terrible consequences.
All right. Come with me.
He will know. He will find us.
One more reason to hurry.
Have I seen you before?
Can you walk?
Maybe.
Then let's go before your husband finds us. It was in your studio.
What?
You painted me. That's where you saw me.
Of course. The men in white are coming.
You mean the guards?
This way. Follow me.
What the?
Oh no.
Hey! Just come out of your dumb hiding hole.
In your studio.
What?
You painted me. That's where you saw me.
Of course. The men in white are coming.
You mean the guards?
This way. Follow me.
What the?
Oh no. The machine. It's the green. The decaying one.
The gas.
Yes. It's not good for living beings.
We don't have time for that.
I am not moving until the wrong is set right.
Damn it. I'd be better off finding a tool. Perfect. All right. That should do it. Let's move.
I'm your puppet no more, you bastard!
You're my wife. My wife. You owe me obedience.
Leave her alone! We're leaving this crazy island.
You are going nowhere. Don't get between me and my wife.
Edward!
Nobody tells me what to do with my wife. How dare you? No! Why should I let you take her away when I could snap your neck?
All you did for her safety was throwing her in this rat hole.
I hid her well enough.
You let Fuller play with her.
Stop. I did everything I could to protect her. But her identity, her power, is what threatens her.
What?
Sarah has seen things, has made things you can't even begin to imagine. Would you still save her if I told you that she is even more dangerous than I am?
She needs help.
No. Sarah has been in the presence of the myth for too long. Even if she were to leave Darkwater, she would still hear his call. And the cult will always be here, waiting for her.
Then we get rid of its members.
You are out of your league, detective. They control the whole island. She will finally surrender to his power, and the world will fall with her.
Don't!
No one can escape the wheel of destiny, they say. But I will change it. I will save Sarah.
No parent should have to bury their child, knowing it's me that put him there. The guilt will never go away.
I feel your pain.
I'll do anything to get him back. Anything. My work was what lured me here in the first place. It began showing me things I never should have painted. Things Charles should never have seen.
What am I to you? I took care of you, saved you from your miserable life. You'll never find a man better than me. You owe me.
I owe you nothing. We'll leave now.
You're not going anywhere. You are mine!
Simon.
Come on. It's over now.
To that influence again.
Mr. Pierce, we were waiting for you.
Good. Sarah doesn't have much time.
What are you doing here?
Did you think I would let you confront the occult without supervision?
This is too dangerous for a bookworm like you.
Algernon, I need to talk to Mr. Pierce.
Very well, Sarah. I will be in Charles Hawkins' office.
You seem different.
Yes. When I woke up this morning, my mind was sharper. Cleaner. I can still hear the voice calling me. It is so strong. So ancient. Enticing. Dangerous. I may never be able to escape his grip, but for now, I can keep it at bay. I know what I owe you, Mr. Pierce. But I can't come back to Boston with you.
You've been friends for a long time, hiding each other's secrets.
I trust him.
What are you planning to do?
I must find it and kill it. I am the only one who can end its slaughter.
No. No, you will come with me to Boston.
I owe you no obedience.
This isn't about what you want or don't want to do. You would risk destroying the world just because you can't face the consequences of your actions.
I am willing to atone for my sins.
No, you're just trying to erase all proof of the mistakes you've made.
I know what I have done. I will not rest until the creature is sent back to its dimension.
You can't give up, even knowing the stakes.
Yes, thank you.
Still, I won't let you go.
What?
You will stay here until I find a safe way to return to Boston.
That's ridiculous. Listen, Algernon knows of a way to protect me. Help him find what he seeks, and we may all survive this battle.
All right. I'll help you. Damn it. The entrance to the tunnel has been buried following the cave-in. But at least I didn't dream it.
Seeing you again. Ah, it's you. I'm here for her, not you.
I don't care why you're here. Your usefulness is the only thing that matters. How do we protect Mrs. Hawkins from the influence of the forces that claim her?
By following Charles Hawkins, that imbecile of a thief, of course.
What do you mean?
He found something. An amulet. The symbol engraved on it could protect Sarah.
Could?
We are dealing with forces that by far surpass what your intellect can process. Feel free to ask me any question regarding the matters that exceed your grasp.
What is the true nature of the Necronomicon?
I see that you are interested in my precious book. It is the definitive book of knowledge of the occult, Mr. Pierce, written by Abdul al-Hazred. It is the answer to many a question.
That is why it's so highly valued.
Yes, and even though it is a copy, given to me as a gift by Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University, the work remains very powerful.
I understand better why you keep it in a safe. The dagger with the strange sign. Was it you who sold it to Francis Sanders?
If you are referring to the dagger of the ancients, then yes, it was me. Why?
Do you know what he intended to do with it?
Francis was primarily a collector of occult objects. He liked rare items such as the dagger. But I doubt he knew its purpose.
It allowed me to send the creature you call the Shambler back into the painting.
Fascinating. But I am afraid that this might only be short-lived.
You mean that thing could come back?
Yes, that is why I am looking for a more permanent solution.
It must never come back. A genius like you must have already found a way to get rid of this creature, yes?
I sense your sarcasm, but it does happen that, yes, I do have a solution. I think I can destroy it, but for that I must approach the creature, and to be able to do so, I need the key to Rie.
Another one of your baubles.
It is no bauble, unbeliever. It is a very powerful protection, able to repel very ancient forces. Much more effective than your Colt.
What does it look like?
It is a golden amulet, bearing very ancient inscriptions and an elder sign at its center. A star with an eye in the middle.
I've already seen that sign. Where can we find it?
Therein lies the problem. That foul thief, Charles, has hidden it somewhere. I found this drawing among his personal effects. I think that it has something to do with the location of the amulet.
I'll follow this lead. You continue searching.
That is what I intend to do. As for you, return here the second you find it. I don't want it to disappear again. Ah, it's you again.
This creature, the Shambler, what is it?
It is a hunter. It travels from one dimension to another to hunt down its prey.
Francis Sanders was one of its victims. How could a creature like that end up in one of Mrs. Hawkins' paintings?
Sarah has an uncommon gift. A connection with entities that live beyond our reality. I doubt that she was aware at the time, but when she painted the picture in a certain way, she called it.
And now it remains in our reality.
Let us say that it uses the painting as a portal into our reality, and we make enticing prey for it.
That's why we must find a way of sending it back to where it came from permanently. That's all I wanted to know.
All in...
Was Sarah Hawkins telling the truth? What kind of ritual was she preparing? Was the painting of the Shambler displayed here? Mrs. Hawkins never told me why she was in possession of the Necronomicon. How did she survive her encounter with the Shambler? How did she react? Was she afraid? Charles Hawkins was ready to do anything to protect his wife. If the amulet can protect Sarah Hawkins from the influence of the mythos, I must find it. How are you, Bradley?
Ah, it's you, Pierce. I'm just worried about Marie. I mean, Dr. Colden. Have you had any news?
I'm sorry. I haven't heard anything from her. But I'm sure she's fine. She must be in the hospital, or home.
I already checked. She wasn't at home. And no one's seen her in Riverside since you set the cellars on fire. You know more than you're telling me. I'm certainly not as good a detective as the great Edward Pierce, but I still know when someone's lying to me.
I'm sorry. Truly.
It's that slug, Fuller. I swear I'll shoot him. What do you say, Pierce? Are you with me?
Have no fear, Bradley. Dr. Fuller will not escape the clutches of destiny for long. Sooner or later, he will be judged for what he has done. You just need to have faith.
What are you talking about? What's this story of destiny? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to wait for some mystical intervention. I'll take care of him. Myself.
We must do something for those who are still alive, Bradley. Sarah is still in danger as long as the cult is active. We need to see this through, otherwise Marie's death will have been in vain.
You're, the voice of reason, Pierce. As always.
I'd be better off if I went to see the others.
Ah, it's you again.
That's all I wanted to know.
All in...
This is the amulet that Drake was looking for.
Ah, it's you again.
That's all I wanted to know.
All.
I prefer to be alone.
Ah, it's you again.
I think I've found what we're looking for.
Let me see that. Yes, that's it. It's perfect. We are saved.
I must tell Mrs. Hawkins.
Yes, do that. Ah, it's you again.
That's all I wanted to know.
All in.
I have it. It's a strange amulet. I hope it will protect you, considering that nothing will help you change your mind.
You must understand, I already went too far.
What have you seen that's so terrible you convinced yourself that you had to risk so much?
I can't tell you now.
This story is going to end badly.
Yes. Chief West is here with Sullivan.
Bradley, you take care of Sarah. I will deal with them.
You sure? All right.
I've been hearing about you a lot lately. You seem to enjoy causing trouble.
Nice job, Chief. You got me. Great police work.
You can try to play smart with me all you want, Pierce. Witnesses have identified you as the one who set fire to Riverside.
Witnesses? How convenient. That's not the whole story, is it?
I don't care about your stories. Save them for the judge. You know, us cops, we base our investigation on facts and testimonies. You might want to try that next time.
You bet I will.
You know, I've heard a lot about you, Mr. Pierce.
All good, I hope.
It appears that you've been involved in a variety of misdemeanors since your arrival on Darkwater. Entering private property, twice. Aggression, insulting behavior, and to top it all, arson.
Listen, in my line of business, we are obliged to overstep certain limits.
We're not just talking about illegal surveillance. You were being accused of serious crimes.
There's nothing serious in what you've said, and you've got no proof that I started the fire.
Don't you worry. I'll find some.
You're going to waste time and effort on me, while terrible things are happening on this island.
Yeah? So what's going on that I don't know about?
You'd be better off taking an interest in Dr. Fuller. The experiments he carries out on his patients are as inhuman as they are illegal. And when Dr. Colden wanted to put a stop to it, she too went under the knife.
What are you talking about? Nobody's reported any wrongdoings. Dr. Fuller is a man who is as much respected and admired on the island as he is in his profession. It seems like you've got a grievance against him. Is that why you set fire to his institute?
I'm admitting nothing at all.
Come on, I'll show you to your new residence. I'll be back later to ask you some questions. I hope that you'll make the right choice and confess to everything. It would be as unpleasant for you as it would be for me if I had to adopt more advanced questioning.
I have no doubt about that.
Good night, Mr. Pierce.
Mr. Pierce, the Truth Seeker. We meet at last.
Who's there?
I am the one men named Leviathan. Not because of the scale of my terrestrial form, but as a reminder of the immensity of my knowledge, which I came to share with you, human. Do not struggle. You will not be able to speak or escape my influence. I told you to behave. You are here to accept the knowledge and follow the path that leads to your freedom. This is an offer that the likes of you, particularly those with such rare characteristics, cannot refuse. The more you bend your human spirit to make it able to receive the truth, the closer you will come to embrace his power. Where is the Oracle, Truth Seeker? Would you like to see her? Oracle. Is she not the very object of your quest? I'll let you see for yourself. But do not forget, your fate has already been written. Our paths shall cross again, Truth Seeker.
You know the risk, Sarah. If you happen to use your powers again, you may lose more than your life.
It is not about me, but innocent lives. I hope that your sources are reliable.
The bootleggers have the painting. If the Dimensional Shambler is to appear, he will do it here. The Shambler! I knew it!
No! Not again! Algernon, come back!